What's going on, everybody? Mr. Octagonal here from Octagonal Gaming, and today we are officially going to be kicking off the Western Carolina Catamounts NCAA Football 14 Team Builder Dynasty here on the Franchise Gurus channel. So without further ado, let's get right into this. Today's episode will basically be an introduction, going over the team, the schedule, the coaching staff, stuff like that. So first, we're going to meet your Catamount coaching staff. I press coach philosophy, so I want coach info. But anyway, what I like to do for the coaching staffs is usually I like to have channel legends of mine as like the head coaches and the coordinators. So our head coach is going to be Alex Ellis. I wanted to, since this is a team builder dynasty, I wanted to stick with that theme, and I went with a few guys from my Westlake Hornets team builder dynasty. And I figured it was only right that I choose the greatest Hornet of all time to be the head coach, and I think most Westlake viewers would agree. Ellis was our former running back. He won 2 Heisman trophies with us. At offensive coordinator, wide receiver for Westlake, he's still in the team currently in the series, and that's Nigel Wiggins. Very, very fun player. I think with a young receiving core that this Catamount team has, I think he'll be able to develop them pretty nicely. And then the defensive coordinator, former Westlake linebacker Owen Hit Stick Jackson, an old school type player. He can lay the boom onto your running backs and quarterbacks. So now it's time to meet the Western Carolina roster, the official team. We're going to go position by position, starting with quarterback, and the day one starter will be a junior by the name of Jack Jackson. Devin McQueen is the backup. Jake Winston, another name to watch out for. But I think we're likely going to go to the recruiting trail for our next quarterback after Jack. The starting running back is Devontae Ingram. Expect Benjamin Lowell to also get a good role in the offense this year. McCoy is going to be the starting fullback. Now let's look at the wide receivers. The top player on the team is junior Laxton Holloway. Behind him, we got sophomore Arturo Marsh. A freshman, Danye Barner. 92 speed, one of the fastest players on the team. He's a guy to watch out for early on. Then Josh Allison, another freshman, another interesting name to watch out for. I think those 4 will be our main receivers. And then the tight end, true freshman, Jacob Hill. Tight end's a weird position in NCAA. In my Westlake series, I barely use the tight end, but in my dynasty before, I used it a lot. So either Hill's going to be really good or really bad. I don't know. On the offensive line, we got a senior at left tackle, but then after that, we got a bunch of building blocks. Our left guard is young and good. Our center is young and good. Our right guard is young and good, and same can be said for a right tackle. And I'm saying these guys are good. Like, good as in, like, some of the more talented players on our team. I'm not saying a 67 in general is good, but for Season 1, having a 67 sophomore is an asset. There's Tupu. He's going to be the starting left end, and the starting right end will be Ambrose McCorkle. That's a fun name. It's a shame he's a senior. Inside, we got Efren Criswell, a senior, along with Trikel Perry, a sophomore. Those are 2 names to watch out for, especially Perry. I think he can be a big part of our team. At linebacker, Giuseppe Clegg. He's going to be a big name to watch out for early on. And then Ezekiel Farrar, I think, could be something down the line. At middle linebacker, DeAndre Cooper will be the starter there. And then at right side, a true freshman, Corey Agnew. So I think our linebacking core is one of the strengths of this team personally. And then in the secondary, headlined by cornerback Deshaun Baxton, a sophomore. Behind him, we got a true freshman, Kareem Yu. We got Tristan Ashton, who is a sophomore, and then a few other guys behind them. Isaac Kendrick is a sophomore, and then those last 2 guys are upperclassmen. At safety, a junior, Zaire Nash. He'll be the starter there. And then at strong safety, another junior, Warner Howerton, will be starting as well. And then the special teams at kicker, junior Francisco Mares, and then the punter, Eddie Weber. So there is your Catamount squad. Not very good. Actually, one of the worst rosters in the game, if we're being honest. Looking at the schedule, opening day, tough one on the road against South Carolina. Then conference play kicks off against Cincinnati. Then non-conference again at Ohio State. If we lose that game by less than 56 points, I would consider it a success. We're going to get murdered in Columbus. Versus Temple, versus Virginia, at UConn, at USF, at Memphis. Bye week. At SMU, and then our last 3 games are all at home versus UCF, Houston, and Mississippi Valley State, our rivals. And they are led by an absolute monster at quarterback, Richard Rivers Jr., a.k.a. Big Tuna. And the scary thing about Rivers is he is 99 everything. And the even scarier part is he regenerates. Once this Richard Rivers Jr. graduates, there will be another who joins the team. So basically, Mississippi Valley State will always have a 99 everything quarterback for the rest of the series. We're going to have to play these guys every single year, and it ain't going to be fun. So now we're just going to look at red shirts and the depth chart. We're redshirting pretty much all the freshmen who are not going to be starting, which is actually most of them. And then same thing for really anyone who can be redshirted. If you're not starting, you're not going to play. We might as well give you that extra year of eligibility. That's how I roll. Even if you're an important backup, we can just use someone who's a little bit worse who happens to be redshirted. So here's the official depth chart. I pretty much already went over the roster already, but here you go. I think one of the only changes I made was moving Danye Barner up to the number 2 receiver, and then Arturo Marsh will be at that number 3 spot. But other than that, for the most part, I didn't really change a whole lot. A lot of the core players on this team are young, and a lot of the best players on the team are young, and I want to start youth. But at the same time, most of these talented players are freshmen and sophomores, so I think it makes sense to start some of these young guys right away. And it's easy since most of them are the best players at their position. So also, normally I would go over recruiting in the first episode, but there will be recruiting restrictions, and we're going to dedicate the first couple minutes of next episode literally just talking about recruiting. So that'll end the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Next episode, as I mentioned, we'll talk about recruiting, and then we will kick off the season. Have a good one. Peace out.
Hey, this is the athletic director here at Western Carolina. Just wanted to congratulate you on accepting our job offer to become the new head baseball coach. We are so excited in bringing in a guy like yourself, and I just wanted to ask, since I know you're coming on the campus here pretty soon, if you're ready for this challenge. We've been embarrassed on the field and we've been embarrassed off the field. Just want to make sure that you're absolutely 100% ready for what's about to come your way.
I've seen far bigger challenges before in my lifetime. And even though Western Carolina is going through some tough times, I still can't wait to get started to turn things around. I'm ready to make Western Carolina a national contender again, baby. Let's get it.